Today, the House Intelligence Committee finally got its chance to grill Felix Sater. The former Trump business partner skipped his date with them last month, using a classic excuse. He missed his alarm because he was sick. So the committee subpoenaed him. Despite Sater saying he'd answer all questions, the committee released a rare statement saying he failed to fully cooperate and didn't produce the documents they asked for. Sater has a long criminal history, but the reason anyone cares about him is that he's the member of Trump's network with the closest ties to the Kremlin. In 2015, he bragged that he could get a Trump Tower off the ground in Moscow, with help from Russian President Vladimir Putin. It's a long way from Sater's beginnings in Brighton Beach, Brooklyn.
The 80s was the most bloody years in Brighton Beach. Russian bad guys were these bandits, gangs from Brighton Beach who was shooting each other. It became more sophisticated after their sons graduated American universities. It was real estate. It was boiling rooms on the Wall Street.
Russian journalist Alexander Grant fled to New York in 1987. A former dissident who spent 12 years in a KGB prison, Grant is an expert in Russian organized crime. He has known the Sater family for 3 decades.
For me, Felix Sater is a bright American with a Russian background. It will explain everything. His father was a criminal, Misha Sater. Felix was growing up in his company, and he's been an American-educated guy with respect with Russian-speaking criminal father. So this combination produced him.
Felix got in trouble with the cops too. In 1991, he slashed a guy in the face with a margarita glass and served a year in prison for it. In 1998, he pleaded guilty for his role in a $40 million stock fraud scheme, backed by the mafia and Russian criminals. Sater later worked at the Bayrock Group, which is where Trump turned in the early 2000s for some much-needed funding. In 2001, he had become Trump's conduit to rich Russian businessmen. By 2009, he was a senior advisor to Donald Trump. Sater was deeply ensconced in Trump world and making ever grander promises. In an email to his childhood friend Michael Cohen, Sater dangled the possibility of a face-to-face meeting with Putin. The president claims he wasn't aware of these overtures, or Sater's criminal past. What do you make of all this stuff, that Felix Sater is being brought in as this kind of Russian criminal mastermind?
Well, I think that Felix Sater is a fantastic storyteller, better than anyone else.
He's a bullshitter.
Well, not exactly that, but something of that sort.
Sater might be a bullshitter, but he's bullshitted his way from underworld tough into something of a secret agent. When Loretta Lynch was a district attorney in 1998, she said Sater provided information that helped to convict 20 people. And in May 2019, federal judge I. Leo Glasser from the Eastern District of New York confirmed one of Sater's seemingly most preposterous claims, namely that he was involved in an operation that scooped up Osama Bin Laden's satellite phone number on behalf of the CIA. He got into the Trump organization. This is what's amazing to me. He had a card that I'm an advisor to the president and was working out of Trump Tower.
So Felix Sater is an entrepreneur. Putting in the company of some person, he immediately started to build a staircase to success, being it Trump or Osama Bin Laden or his late father.
But the guy who bragged about his connections to Bin Laden and Putin is also the one who did time for slashing a guy with a margarita glass, which put Sater in the company of Michael Cohen, Paul Manafort, and allegedly Roger Stone, bridging an oddly familiar divide between small-time crime and high-level DC intrigue.
The bridge Felix Sater has been built between him and Kremlin has nothing to do with the politics. It was a commercial enterprise. He had some connections in Russia, some familiars in Russia. He speaks Russian. But I don't think it was politically motivated thing.
He wants to make money.
Well,
Yeah.